And 1, 2, 3, we are live. Hi, I'm Heinbach, and it's good to have you back. This is the album listening party. Whether you're listening right now live or you're watching the video after the fact, we are listening tonight to my new tape that I just put out on Psy Records. It's called The One Who Runs Away is the Ghost, and it's a soundtrack to a movie that you can also watch now on demand. I'll get to that in a bit. So let me say hi to everyone in the... okay, so I look there to talk to you, but I see who's there in the computer. That's always a bit confusing at first. I don't live stream that often anymore. So I'm going to pop this tape in and we're going to listen to it, and I'll be answering questions and talking about it. So, but yeah, get yourself a drink and chill. This is a very, very calm record. Good. And here we go. Will it play? I had one stream where the tape ripped. That was no fun. But here we go. Thanks, Sofakina. Yeah, so this is the tape. I'll pull it up here. And I finally figured out how to do stereo here too, from the tape. Wonderful. So, I'm starting slowly tonight. I'm just having a Spaten, alcohol-free, because we had a horrible bout of stomach flu all week, and that the whole family. So I need to take it easy. So, cheers everyone. Hi Oliver. Thanks Logan. Oh, Phil Miller, thank you already for ordering. Jason, we've got Jogging House, who runs Psy Records, in the chat, and Jogging House might be able to address that. Hey, Fables of Silence. Moser Film is also in the chat, and they are the production company, basically, behind the movie. Julian was also hit with the stomach flu. He was the director of photography on this, and my most direct contact in the making of the soundtrack. He couldn't come. He was supposed to be a special guest, but no chance. Stupid thing going around. Yeah, Oliver, it's been raining here too. So, the tape player is my trusty Sony TC-D5 Pro 2. I use this mainly for playback because it doesn't have many speed options, so it's not that exciting for experimental things, but it sounds just wonderful, as you can hear. It just runs from 2 D cells. Yeah, Julian is there in spirit because he's part of Moser Film, so that means spirit is also the chat. Oh, Thomas, that sounds lovely. Thank you, Jasper. I'm a bit professional, so this is where you can get the tape. And the album just hit #1 on Bandcamp best-selling, which is amazing. Thanks to everyone who ordered already. So, and the digital is pay what you want for the first 2 weeks, which is like 10 days more. And then I think then it goes up to €7 for the digital. And the tape, yeah, 300 of these are out. Yeah, you can grab a copy now. And Tovra is short for The One Who Runs Away is the Ghost. Or Yeah, not the whole thing. And this is, of course, a soundtrack about kids growing up in Shenzhen. I tried to pronounce it correctly. It's not that easy. And you can see them in this technological Marvel world. And they make their own games with the machines there. It's an utterly endearing movie. It went through a lot of festivals. And now it's available on demand on the Bandcamp of Video, which is Vimeo. Here's the link to that, so you can have a better idea how the music sounds in the visual context. It is a very, very different soundtrack to the one that is just come out in cinemas. Today there's a new film that I scored that's out in cinemas that employs a huge range of stuff and instruments. This one was very much more focused. Some pieces have literally just like a field kit effects and a xylophone and a tape loop going on, and that's it. But also I used some test equipment. But in general, it's a very reduced score. It's like a different side of what I do. So while the movie Shock, which is in cinemas now, big, full blast, take everything, this is quiet, subdued, and yeah, more on that side of my music. So let me get back to the comments. Just Pyro, hope to see you in Freiburg. I'm playing a jazz house on Thursday next. Hi Igor, cheers to you. Thank you, Mountain Singers. It was a surprise today. Ah, Mika Konomos. Nice to see you here. One lives divides okay before after Heinbach. I think that's a compliment. Oliver Kant would love if you got the chance to work on an A24 published film. I don't know what an A24 film is. Yes, the cassette comes with the download. Thanks, Luminiferous Ether. Thank you, Moonwood Man. Yeah, it would be lovely if Shock came over. That would be absolutely cool. But I think it goes... I mean, it's cinemas now, and I don't know how it goes to Cinemas International. Then it would have to get licensed, I think. I don't know how that works. I've got no idea, actually, about the movie business. But then it will be on TV before it goes onto streaming, because it was in part financed by German Broadcast and Arte. Liku Krum. Hi from DC. Congrats on the new tape. I just got my first Princeton Lock-in amp. Bravo! Congrats, the first Lock-in amp. That's amazing. Good that you could find one. They're getting exceedingly rare. I wonder why. Fables of Silence. You can now watch this movie. I put the link. Where is it? Here. Here's the link where you can watch. I think it's €5 to borrow and €7 to buy or something like that. So rather affordable. So that's where you can get that. Going back to comments. Adonius, does cannabis improve music? I'm not so sure. I tend to make my best music when I'm like absolutely sober. It's sometimes it might be nice to indulge when to listen, but for making I don't feel more inspired or anything. I tend to not to combine the two things. So no, not for me at least. Thank you, Alejandro. Brad's Guitar Garage. Your music brings me a lot of peace and focus while working on broken equipment. Thank you, Heinbach. That's something I hear often. I don't know, it's because my audience also likes the same things that I like. But yeah, people tend to solder while listening to my music. At one point, like I get Walker and Tony from Make Noise when I had just put out one of my very first tapes in 2016 or 17 that was on Alessandro Cortini's and Ted Butler's label Limited Interest. They were like, love your music. Then we're just soldering here, and I think they were making like probably pressure points and maths at that time, and yeah, we'll have listened to that while we're doing that. So any plans to play a live show in the UK this year? Yes, not only one but two. I am actually like gonna play a bunch of shows, maybe even more. So I've got a booking agent now, and that makes booking much easier for me. And I'm not gonna announce it yet, but it's gonna be in October and starting in London. So it will be a very, very special gig. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, then I'm also gonna play another place in England I haven't played before, and I hope to plan more. It's all in the works, and it's all to accompany an album that I'll be releasing again on Zeil in autumn. And yeah, there's gonna be much more touring in the future, which I love, because I got into all of this because of live music. Thanks, Eric. A flock of geese flew over this song, adding their voices. Can I add that comment? Now it shows the banner. Okay, take the banner away. And now I wanted to add that beautiful comment, the first a flock of geese. Show. That's how that works. That can be either a comment or the sticky banner. Thanks, Robert Seeley. That's lovely. Okay. Bye, geese. I'm not saying Bristol. Any plans for gigs in the Munich area? Working on it. I'm working on booking agent now. It's Folk Wisdom, like a lovely couple in Berlin that booked me. And yeah, there's gonna be more, especially around that upcoming album, because finally there's like all these things in place, you know, album, booking agent, and some gigs already. So it's gonna be busy for me. Billy Pilgrim, any update on that new Rotopop sequel album with Sam? We already posted some things to our Patreon, so if you want to know more, you can watch there. And there's for me it's just a €1 tier where you get the news, where you can see the videos that I'm not putting up on YouTube. But it was sent over. No, it's basically been delivered. So that means it has been scheduled for release, and we've got everything in place. And there's going to be some cool things around that, I hope. Mountain Singers. Just grabbed the album. I'll be listening again tonight with my peppermint tea while watching the snow fall. That's again a nice... That sounds perfect. Cheers to Hunsrück, John. Hi Elan. Nice to see you here. I just have to check if I've got top chat or all chat on, so I can see all the chat. I hope I see all the chat. Good. I hope it sounds good for you with my voice level and the music. For me, it sounds really nice. I'm hearing the same thing as you, but if that's fine with you, then, or something should be different, let me know. I'm running everything through my old broadcast desk, and I'm using this ancient broadcast mic, so I really feel like I'm having a radio show right now with this, which is lovely, because I love radio. It's a medium I really, where I get into music first. So through listening to John Peel, reruns from cassette on German public radio. It's lovely. Billy Pilgrim. What's the story behind that EMS Synthi? The one that's sitting in that corner? Well, I got it at a good price from a friend of mine who, and we basically, but first I bought half of it, and then we shared it for some time, and then he said, nah, I didn't have it for like 3 months, I don't miss it, you can have it full, and I said, yes, cool. And so now it's here, and I've been using it so much, like in everything that I do with Ach Kosmos now, it's one of the main instruments. We always start out with it. It's such a versatile instrument. It's like a mini test equipment setup. It has that rawness. It's absurdly beautiful. And I'm so happy to have finally won and to get to explore it over such a long time. And at some point I'll make a video, but I tend to now make videos about things where I also have something like bigger to show, like an album or something, or where I've got the feeling that I've been able to explore it fully. And for something like the Synthi, to explore that fully, that's a task of its own. I mean, even the Syntrax, the slightly easier to work with, and more modern, version from Erica. I made 6 videos, I think, about that, just because I felt so indebted to the legacy of this instrument. So I wanted to talk about making music with it. Thank you, Synthi Flowers. Yeah, good that the mix is good. The mix is good. Ever think of doing a Heinbach Buddha machine? Ooh, is that a thing? Do people make custom Buddha machines? That could potentially be fun. I actually would love to stream more, and it is fun, but I don't know if it's fun if I do it all the time, because I got kind of I did so many streams during lockdown, and so long streams. Whew, that was a lot. So when the world picked up again, it was nice to just be again among people, and so touring has a priority compared to streaming now. But I do love it. It's just sitting here listening to music with you, chatting. It's wonderful. The cover art. That's by Nani Gutierrez. She also did a bunch of my album covers. She did the one Assertion with the fish, and she did a lot of shows with me as a visual artist. So, and she lives very close by here, so it's all in one house. So beautiful cover art, definitely. And again with the amazing Sile style. So it has that Sile CI that's been going on from the beginning, and it looks timeless to me. It always works. And once this is over, I have to show you how it looks, the cassette itself. It looks very good. Boris really knows how to pick something beautiful. Oliveri Basta. This album was mastered by Nathan Moody of Obsidian Sound. And I've got a video with him on mastering a different record that you can check out on the channel. It's called How Mastering Made My Music Sound Better. Very simple, but yeah, it was part of the whole videos on Assertion, the making of that album. Musica Matica, that's very nice. Hi kids. I'm happy that you enjoy my... Oh, that was in the music. Oh, for one second. Forgot that that was in the music. I thought the tape had dropped. So, kids of Musicamatica, hi. Do you plan to play in France? I've never played France, and I would absolutely love to. So, all these places are now on the list of places to play. Starting end of this year, there will be much more touring, and it will go on into next year, and so forth, hopefully. Blue Crew Fool. Yeah, I guess you made tape loops with them. Yeah, I have to say I never did tape loops myself because I always found them. When things are fiddly, I don't like them. I love making tape loops on the big reel-to-reels, but on the cassette, they've always been too fiddly. And luckily, there was always Tapeline in UK with like relatively cheap and much longer tape loops, so I went for those. But yeah, okay. I think this has run its course, and this is how you make a tape. You plan it so it won't run too long into emptiness. So let's do my favorite thing. And if some of you have been to these listening parties before, you know what I love doing. That's how the cassette ejects on this. Yeah, and this is what I meant. It looks really beautiful. Can't you see in the light even? I tried to like make it so it's not so shiny. It's a transparent tape with on-body print, and it looks nice and beautiful. It looks a bit ghostly, so it fits with the theme. Let's go to side 2. These are available on sirecords.bandcamp.com. And play. Yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine when the side 1 has like a very long emptiness between, and that always speaks of bad sequencing on a tape. That speaks of tape as an afterthought. And it's both a constraint of the medium, but it makes... Ooh, that sounds good on the headphones now. That sounds like it's coming from inside my head. Oof. Cool. Yeah, that's my OP1. My old one. Half broken, but still going on. And it's one of the sounds, I think that's the Seat Lombardi Z-Drugs. I sampled into it. And it's one of the sounds that I use in every film and every piece that I worked on with Moser Bros. Even our first one, we started with that, and every time I put that on, both were like, oh. Then I knew, okay, this has to be a signature sound for our work together. Even in live shows, when I play that, I can hear them, oh. It's lovely. Huh. Just gonna shut up for a second. It's all OP1 mixed inside the OP1. This is one of the pieces I scored especially to a scene. Many of the other pieces here that are on the soundtrack are older works of mine that I gave them very, very early on in the process to start their edit with. And since Felix has been a curator of my music for some time, so he curated basically my whole music library from 2013 to 2020. So he ordered everything, and then he compiled 2 records out of that. One was Home Stories, the other was Core Memory. And we worked on those together. And so he had a large overview about what tracks would already fit with the mood of the film. And so some of those pieces on the soundtrack on this cassette are from 2016, 2017. And then when it came to scoring the film, there were of course many parts where like I needed to make new music, and this is one of them. And I really tried to engage with what I saw without being descriptive, which is hard in documentary to do. Don't be, if you are too descriptive, it becomes oftentimes like on the nose. So it's actually good to use like tracks that are already pre-existing, because those tell their thing, the visuals tell a thing, and together they tell a new thing. But if both are just telling the same thing, it oftentimes becomes, or directly on the nose, becomes too much. Yeah, so. Adrian Lyotard. Oh, that's super nice. That's super nice. I hope they run. They should run. I mean, these things are basically made to last. Would like to see you live with Look Mom, No Computer. I need to drop the I need to. I forgot. So here, can you get the tape? Test equipment. These heavier sounds. So that's something that I really enjoyed, is to add these kind of sounds, because the world that is in the movie has a very technological edge. So from time to time to work with more these hardcore electronics, that helps to create something different, to roughen up the softness, because I was more in the kids' world and in their imagination with the music. But the outside needs to find its place too. Music is part of the scenery, of the Ausstattung. What's that? The set of the movie. Watch the movie here, on demand, on Vimeo. How do I know a song is finished? Oh, when I want to do the next one, then the other one is usually finished. And but really, I know when a song is finished when I hear it in the context of other songs, when I combine them for an album. And only then, in the context of those, I found out what is missing clearly. Because you're always gonna do like one or two really, really good tracks, and then those make the other ones pale, and then you have to think, oh, do I need to work like a few months more to make as much as good tracks? Or are the other ones, do they have an idea that I can carve out more? And oftentimes, that challenge is like, okay, I need to go there. And that helps in finishing the tracks. In the context of an album, I think it's easy to finish tracks, because then you know, oh, this track won't work, it's a filler, that doesn't make sense. And there's more promise to it. I just need to work more on it. So, context is all for knowing when a song is finished. My tutor always said you have to be like beautiful wallpaper when you score. I wouldn't subscribe to that, but that's because I usually come from the theater, where if I were beautiful, like if somebody would have said that in German cinema, they would have been like kicked out of the house. It's a very political, very edgy kind of thing, and beautiful wallpaper. Oh, sorry, that wouldn't have worked. So I couldn't do that. I don't think I am that, but even it might end up like that, but I would never start being like that. I would never think about myself that. I would think of it more in terms of storytelling and contrast, but never. The funny thing is, thank you, Bryce. Thomas, that's the tape hiss, actually. That's the tape hiss you're hearing. There's no rain recording. It's just a little bit of hiss. And because this is a rather good desk, you're hearing only a little, and of course the tapes are very well made. So that's why the hiss is very, very low. Favorite meal as a child? Goulash, I think. My mother made very good goulash. I really like that. I feel like you can hear every sip I take through this mic. I need to like drink a bit further away. Still, I need a bit off axis maybe. Sorry. Thanks, Fables of Silence. The rumble. You know, I haven't listened to the tape until this moment, and it's fascinating what it can do to the low end. So the cassette tape cuts it, but it also like knocks it a bit, boosts it a bit at certain parts. So the places where I had originally set that rumble on the digital recording, they are higher. Yeah, they're deeper, they're lower. But through the tape, they get into more chesty region. Very interesting. I come from Baden-Württemberg, from Freiburg, and I've lived in Hamburg, and I live now in Berlin. Answering Just Pyro here. ASMR. Non-alcoholic beer ASMR. Thanks, Tia. Yeah, that lovely synthesizer there, I think that's the Roland SE02, the one that they made with Studio Electronics. It sounds very, very good. I would have kept it if it was not so fiddly. It was just so fiddly, so tiny. But it sounded so good. It was something nice to throw in the backpack and travel around with. And a really good sounding synthesizer. And they're cheap, I think, still. Probably. I don't know. Very good one, definitely. Oh, if you order the cassette, you get a sticker. Silas, these beautiful stickers. Oh, they're shiny. So shiny. Where can I put them? That's blue, metallic, and shiny. Looks very nice. Oh, here's one of my favorite scoring instruments. That's the Seat Lombardic Carper, which just sounds wonderful. I've used that in this film, and I've used it in a short, in an animated short recently, that I did for a Portuguese studio. And because it's a Carper strong bass synthesizer that you play with touch, it always sounds like rain on a tin roof. And that goes through that track like a guiding light. It almost doesn't matter what the rest is doing. I'm just focused on these raindrops. Did you ever work with one of the artists of the Berlin techno scene? Not really, since I'm not so much in the techno scene myself. other songs recorded in one take? Many of them. Many of them. Some like this. This is again another OP1 piece, entirely in the OP1. It's like recorded on the OP1, track by track by track by track. And then I played it in one take to the internal, it's called disc recorder on the OP1 by playing the fifth layer on top of it. So I would get more than the 4 tracks by playing the fifth one live, basically. Same yeah, that's the album. Inside cover album. Oh yes, that's what I wanted to do, and then I lost my thought. It's the inside cover with the credits and the track names, as it should be. You can find a bit more out about the cassette. I'm going to show you the link in a bit, because I wrote some liner notes on the Bandcamp site. Let me pull that up. Here you go. Bonk. Good. Do you record field recordings often? All the time. I even made a field recording app called Gauss Field Looper for exactly that purpose for my phone. And I also record with my Nagra, the small ones, the bigger ones. And I've got a film project where I'll be traveling with a production company to record sounds on scene and use them in the soundtrack. So that's up for this year, my next film score. Any plugin plans? Yes, Paul Miller Music, there is one, and that's it just gets delayed and delayed because because it's the time, because Carlo and me both have kids and they get sick, and then you can't do anything anymore because you get sick too, and then kids get, it's the vicious circle. So, but yeah, I just got the demo of an early alpha of the one I'm working on, which has been 2 years in the works, like with lots of travel and things, and it's gonna be a free one. It's gonna be very special. It's gonna be related to experimental music, but yeah, it's a whole lot of work. But it's for free, and we hope to put it out soon. But yeah, things just happen always differently right now. Thank you, BYG John UK. I hope I got that name right. Thank you, Bryce. Yeah, that's like, I love to use them too. It's hard for me to use any other apps, and because I just use these two, and that makes it so much fun for me. It's like both of them just work, and I don't care for any other loopers so much or any other things, because these ones work for my workflow really well, and I'm glad that other people like them too and can discover new ways to play them that I've never thought of, which is also fun. And that's the beauty about making all these tools. You've got an idea what something can do, and then so many people show you their different ideas. Even like, there was a thing with wires when I met Olafur Arnolds in a bar here around the corner by chance, and he told me that he uses wires for snare drums. I was like, how do you use it for snare drums? Yeah, we use the drops parameters, so every other snare would come out differently, and I love it for that. And I'd never thought of that. So he uses it to basically take a sampled snare drum or like a recorded snare drum and make it into something different on every hit. And I had no idea. Goes to show, like, the people that actually use the instruments and the plugins, they come up with more. And that's, as soon as things become more than I have ever thought, I get extra happy. Paul Miller Music, yeah, with audio thing. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, Jonathan. So this went through all the festivals, and I'm so happy that it's finally available on demand. That's very nice. Thanks, Thomas. Oliver, yeah, it was just by chance in a bar, and we were like, huh? Heinbach? Olaf? Oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. And then we had a big nerd out. He was playing in Berlin and was there with his whole crew. Lovely people. Eric Braxton, something. I don't know, something that sounded that lo-fi and had this special like kind of feeling. I think there's the Menke Carper. I think Menke made something. Yeah, or you could get the Menke. What's it called? The Resonator. That's a different thing, but it's also similar in a vibe. Fits the same vibe. It's not Kepler strong. The Wingpinger. It's cool. It's just vibe-wise. It's cheap and very cool. So that's not an alternative, but something that's equally inspiring and lovely. Just Synthie Flowers I did. Wingpinger. Wingy. Yeah, Wingpinger was the big one, and Wingy is the small one. How far ahead are we? Ooh, we're nearing the end? Are we at the end? Wow. That was a good short one. Yeah, we'll just let this run through. So, we could give this another spin if you like. I can stick around for another one. And I'll try to pay extra attention to your questions instead of wandering off with my mind. But yeah, so first I gotta say, this is my record. The One Who Runs the Way is the Ghost. It's out now on Psy Records on beautiful tape and digital. Digital is name your price for 10 more days, I think. And afterwards it goes to €7. And I forgot what the tape costs are. Boris, please drop the price in the comments. But if you're up for a rewind, say rewind. Half speed. This machine doesn't do half speed. I was considering doing another one. I think we did it like with another tape recorder, but that's just mono. And this one is such a beautiful stereo image that I didn't want to. Perfect. So I think that was before you could actually do stereo streams. So, favorite thing. Sony. I love Sony things. Sony, their professional recorders are all wonderful. Still the Sony, was it the PCMD 100? Fantastic. I've never tried their Nagra clone or Nagra style small reel-to-reel recorder. That I would just be interested in using that. So, okay, here we go. Play side 2 again. And I think it might be time for me to now try myself at an actual beer with a bit of alcohol drin. So this is a alcohol drin. So this is a Spezial Brauhaus Tegernsee and Bavarian beer. And press play and cheers. So put this here. Good. Jan Willem, see you in Arnhem. I'm playing in Arnhem on the 20th of April. Looking forward to be there. And in the future, if I won't be just traveling 7 hours for just one gig, I'll be able to tour around that. Paul Miller Music, you could try the Nagra Reel-to-Reel group on Facebook. Very lovely people there. And they've been very helpful, especially when one of mine was lost then stolen. So, so maybe you can find a better deal there, but they tend to be not that much cheaper, but the contact is way more nice. And oftentimes you know that it's going to be good, because the one that I got as a replacement, the seller completely fooled me. The machine had obviously been dropped, and he said it was in perfect condition, and I had to spend so much money to get it back up to work, including fixing some parts where it wrote unfixable, return to Nagra. But my tech managed to do that. But still, with tape sales, reel-to-reel sales on eBay, you can't trust. You really can't trust people. Many times, even not even of people being evil. Sometimes they just don't know. They just have no idea. They just think, oh, it works. I bought a TC344 4-track machine for the next album with the next EP with Look on the Computer, and they claimed it was restored, but they had left the old belts in. And at some point they would slip off. It was during the recording, but luckily we got everything on tape. It sounds good. I got a new belt and everything worked again. Very simple fix, but they claimed it had been restored to factory spec or something like that. Nonsense. There's only 1 or 2 people that really do that, at least here in Germany, and then it costs a fortune, but you're gonna pay that price later anyway if you have to hire the tech, find a tech, and have them fix it up really. So it's a thing. Editor Vardash, this is a TCD5 Pro 2 recorder by Sony. Fables of Silence, no, I didn't get the Nagra back in the end. So Porter Brace kindly offered me to get a new bag, but I doubt they still have the Nagra bag. I'm just waiting to hear from them if they can find one. Because yeah, it was a special vintage bag. That's also another thing. Plus all the tools I lost. That's another sad thing. I had so many tools in there that are almost unfindable now. Like a Revox tape cutter and all these things. It's hard. So I'm traveling to Freiburg tomorrow to play with Ensemble Recherche on Thursday. I'm using tape loops, of course. So I disassembled the tape block, the tape cutting block from my big Telefunken M15 to take with me there, because all the things that you find on eBay, they're nonsense. They claim to work, they don't work. The tape, you put it in, it just falls out. It's absolute horrible. It's horrible. So you're better off 3D printing something. I think I should do that. I should have done that, just 3D printed one thing. But I just wanted to have a really nice tape editing block because it makes the work so much easier, especially when you rely on Tape Loops Live. So I took out that one, and I hope I don't lose it. That would be... I'm so extra careful. AirTags and everything. No. What's my absolute favorite synthesizer? Synthi AKS. It's... If I was on a desert island, I would just use that and Fluss, the one I designed with Brambos. And I would have a Nagra 4.S. And some way then to put the tapes, unlimited tape supply, and a way to put them into very, very sturdy big bottles so I could send them off so people could actually hear them. I would like to, or maybe I would like just listen to them myself. No, but music is for sharing. Okay. Music that's just being heard by yourself. I mean, there's the enjoyment of making it, but if you don't, such a large part of making music for me comes in the joy of sharing it and having other people hear it. So now I'm actually sad about that island idea, which I always really liked. Now it's like, well, just myself, and I can share it with, I don't know, maybe like a turtle. Nothing against turtles, but I don't think you appreciate the finer vibrations of a Synthi AKS recorded on tape and played back at half speed. Or do they? Oh, Fables of Silence. That sounds like a horrible experience. Wow. 1 year more broken. Oh my god. Edit All. Bill Owens. That's from the UK. I came across those. Right? It's a UK thing. And I was this close to buying one, but then I thought, oh, it's UK, so import tax, I need to go to customs. It's like, oh, there's a whole like thing attached to like buying something from the UK. But when I come over in October, I might just buy one. I might just order one and have it delivered to Sam or something, and then I'll just pick it up there. Because, yeah, those seem very good. You could always paint a face on a coconut and share it with it. Imagination. Heimbach VCV modules. I think we talked about that with the audio thing. They think there's a wrapper, so you can wrap the plugins inside VCV. So that should work. Further, I haven't personally dug deeper into VCV Rack. So yeah, there's no plans, no. Hey, Party in Stockhausen? What did they do together? Did they do something together? Yeah, looks like I need to try those at all. I've always been looking for the Revox kind of tape cutter kind of things. They're really nice. Favorite Vangelis track? Oh my god, I had like a record that I was really into. I forgot it. I was listening to that recently. When I was researching some early Vangelis stuff, because it was all due to, I tried to like find out if he used, if I could hear that Scottish drum machine with the tape loops on some of his early records, because he was one of the only known users. I couldn't really make it out, but there were some fantastic tracks on his London, in the studio in London. I hope it will come before this finishes. What was that again? Of course, I listened to the Blade Runner soundtrack a lot when I was a kid, but that's a given, I think. Or a kid, maybe like 14, 15. SH2, that's a wonderful synthesizer. Very good. And I think Werkstatt Matlack does a great job at repairing those and all the synthesizers. I don't know how backlogged he is, but yeah, that could be, if you have problems. Werkstatt Matlack, he's on Instagram, so maybe reach out. It's a wonderful synth, one of my favorite monos. And yeah, something that Sam also played on our next EP. Morph Zone. Yeah, the theme of the album is actually that it's a soundtrack. And the soundtrack is also, it's a soundtrack, yeah, to a film, to a documentary about two kids in Shenzhen. I hope I say that right. And the way they play and live in this crazy world that is Shenzhen. And yeah, you can watch that now. It's on Vimeo, on demand. And yeah, that's the uniting theme of that record. You can see them here, peeking. Oh, all the way around, peeking from the cover. No reflections like this. Good. Concourse. Any plans of returning to Malta? Maybe not nothing concrete, but I would love to. I really enjoyed my time there. It was a fantastic show, and everything was beautiful. It was one of the nicest visits with my music I've ever had. So definitely would love to come back. Yeah. That's just a motor, a DC motor from the Field Kit Effects, playing a xylophone. Then I also have the beater, then it's the tape loop running, and the bass, which is literally, it's just the hum from a microphone that picks up the hum, the frequency hum of the DC motor. Everything is controlled by the Field Kit Effects. Yeah, Paul Miller. DivKit comes not on an artist visa, because that's what I need, and it's definitely now possible, I think, and that's something I'm working on, to get an artist visa. It costs about $3,000, so it's a big investment. But now that I've got a booking agent here, an international booking agent. That's a plan. Won't happen before next year, though. And Portland is on my list, of course. Definitely have to play there. And it's just so much money in advance, and you need to recoup that. And in addition to to all the tickets and stuff, so it's a leap, but I really need to make it. Bye, Editor Vadash. Yeah, Colorado was lovely. That was a lovely time. That was wonderful. Yeah. This was right before the pandemic hit. And then everything was like, nope, you don't stay. I was happy. I was glad that I got to travel a lot in 2019, and up until right before the lockdowns came, I was traveling a lot. And now now it's coming back. And I've learned to accept I get COVID every year now when I tour, and it's just another burden that you have to take upon you when you want to tour, and it's impossible to avoid. I think I wouldn't know how, especially with how important human connections are to me. If I do a show, I like to talk to the people for a long time afterwards, and so it's hard to avoid it. But I'm not getting bad effects from it, at least. So yeah, but it's good. That's good. But it's that's just part of what touring is also. What do you think of the Bela Gliss modules? I love them. They're very useful. I think I made a short. There's a short on YouTube you can watch. Probably if you click on Heinbach and then you go to shorts, there's a little short I made for them, because they gave me those to try out, and I was like, this is amazing. I'm gonna make a short. It's cool. So, and I made those. Hamburg, yeah, definitely. Germany tour is definitely in the cards. So, no plans when, but it's gonna come. Bye, Fables of Silence. See you in Freiburg on Thursday with Ensemble Recherche at Jazz House. Yeah, Oliver, it's just a thing. It's not getting easier to tour. So, and especially with all the costs rising, and I feel I've set myself up to fail with wanting to tour more, but it's just why I'm making music and why I love making music. And I'm so happy to go out there and meet people and show my works. Oh, I think this is my personal favorite track, because I rarely ever do arps. And whenever I do arpeggios, I'm like, oh, you should make more arpeggios. So I love every track of mine that has an arpeggio on it. And this one has a beautiful one. I think it's again just OP1 with a tape loop. What would be one filmwork you'd love to score? Well, I have kind of one thing that I wouldn't have thought. I'm making a movie with Fatih Akin, which is lovely. He's a very well-respected German director, so that's my next movie score. And so that's already a big thing. And I really would love, actually, so I would really just love to work with Dennis Moschito and Daniel Rakete again. The guys I've just made Shock with, which drops in cinemas today in Germany. And I would love to work on another film with the Moser brothers, because that has been such a beautiful relationship. I'm a band guy at heart, so I really love when I've found people that think alike, and we can work together and develop the ideas over time and get better because we've already worked on things. So then I'm like, this is my band. I love my band. I want to play in this band. Come on, let's make a new album. With film that always takes decades. it's it's not as bad as computer games, but it's still like it's such a longer process than an album. But yeah, I that's what I would love to do next. More movies with those people. Hi, Brainwaves. Nice to see you too. Okay, so... Oh, comments are gone, banners. If you're just joining, we are listening to my new tape, The One Who Runs the Way is the Ghost, which is the soundtrack to the film of the same name, which is out on demand today. This just was released on Psy Records, and you can get it. Tape with a digital download, or you can get just a digital download and pay what you want for 10 more days. So any amount is fine. Yeah, so the main thing is you get to listen and enjoy the music. There's that drop again, but this time I was prepared. I didn't look at the tape recorder. Thanks, Just Pyro. Breakfast. Time zones. It's always such a trip. Yeah, here it's dark. It's beer o'clock, and somewhere else it's morning. I used to have this one thing, and that was something I was felt very connected. That because I used to do a lot of theater, and I knew that when I was like going into makeup, and I knew that all across Germany at 7 o'clock people would be like in a what's it called, in a morning gown, or in a bathrobe, and they would be in makeup, learning their lines, going through checks, and repeating the lines, and getting makeup, and preparing for being on stage at 8. That's something that felt very magical. Cool. And stop and flip. Great spring in here. And then you can just drop it. Oh, no, you can't drop it. You need to flip it. Good. It's always strange with this open mechanism. So like this, exactly. Yeah, this is a professional machine made for recorders. I think this was also used in budget movies when they couldn't afford an Nagra. They would record on this. It has XLR inputs for mics, so very useful. Okay, side 2 for the second time, which is the last time. Because tomorrow I've got 7 hours. I hope it's just 7 hours of train travel ahead of me. It's the Sony equivalent. It's a TCD 5 Pro 2. That's again. I don't know how I made that sound so like strangely dimensional. Yes, I have an UR 4000 report, MF-RAD, and I love it. And it's so nice. And I think for recording things like voice and like louder sources and recording synthesizers especially, it works wonderful. I really enjoy it for that. But yeah, the one thing I don't enjoy it for is like using it for tape loops, because it's very hard to reach the heads, so stuff gets scrunked up there. That makes it hard. But yeah, I've got an UR, and it's nice. It's a tape machine you actually want to carry around because it's not that heavy and it has 4 speeds. Lovely things. Hey, Ring System Music. Yeah, you're glad you made it. Making music on trains. Yeah, I did that a lot, especially with the OP1 and stuff. There's even some very, very early videos on my channel where you can see me do that, like in 2016. But yeah, I've since stopped because I don't know. I just used the train now to make like business stuff or to actually relax and read a book and watch or get caught up with a series I haven't watched yet or something. Yeah. Thanks, Poor Pot. This is probably the most empty piece. It's so hard to make empty pieces that don't fall apart. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, these were very popular and very useful. Tiny, good recording quality. Sturdy too. I mean, you've got this leather case underneath. You can even put the unit on it. Germany is okay right now. I mean, Berlin is a bit... I haven't been out because we're all sick. I really haven't been out since Monday. So I don't actually know how it's outside. Everything might be different. But yeah, I'm traveling to Freiburg, where I grew up. I'm looking forward to work with Ensemble Recherche, and I'm looking forward to that. I'll be experiencing my home as a tourist, which will be odd. But yeah. And there it's supposed to be warm, like 16 degrees tomorrow or something, which is a lot warmer than here, I think. New experiments. Have you tried octave delays on drum beats? Yes, of course. Pitch delays on everything. Wonderful. And I love pitch shifters. It's my probably second most favorite effect. Maybe even the first most favorite. It's a tie between like tape delay, spring reverb, and pitch shifters probably, and ring modulation. Glad I don't have to choose, but I love pitch delays, and makes things really, yeah. I'm just looking at my Eventide pitch shift over there, thinking what I could do with it now. Whew. This is actually like I drank this much, and since I haven't drunk in for I don't know, for a few days and not eaten that much, this is like oof. It's like I had drunk 3 or 4. Will the Heimbach Techno project ever be released? Yeah, there's a whole album called Rhythmic, which is it's hard to fit into the storyline because I've got two types of music that I mainly release. One is the ambient side, that's on Xy Records. One is the test equipment side. And hard to introduce a third side to that unless I use an alias or something. But it's all part of me, so I don't want to use alias. Yeah, maybe. I'm nursing dictaphones now because of you. That's lovely. Oh man, I've got such a box of dictaphones. Yeah. Lovely little things. Always come in handy. You can always just add texture to a sound that way, and then you don't need like any lo-fi pedals or anything. You can just done. Cost like $5 or something. I'm afraid that sounds like a cool thing. Okay, using nursing. I mean, sometimes you need to nurse them back to health too. Yeah, it can be. And I've gotten known for two things, but that's beautiful. And that's the same thing like with this score for this movie. This is like the ambient side of my work, and the other one is like the test equipment side of my work. And but this is also on here. So it's kind of like it's there have successfully like crafted a story for me. But then other things to weave into that is hard. And I mean, I haven't discovered an easy way to do it. Probably an Alias is probably the best one. Nimbin. Yeah, but Nimbin has gotten a hype on TikTok. There's one guy who's did a few viral TikToks with the Nimbin. And that also helped in like making these things that were already rare, because I could only import these except for one rack I got from a radiology department. They were all in the States. That was very much a standard there. And so they all came from old surplus stores there, and were often pretty beaten up. So they were already very rare when I was looking into it, at least in good condition. And now, all but impossible to find. I keep an eye out because I would love like a third SRS, but price is too high or like broken to hell, so I'm not bothering with that. Seb, will do. Definitely. The General Electric ones. Is it... I have one GE that has a pitch shifter inside. I always wanted to do a video on that back in the day when I was into dictaphones, but I never did. That was lovely because it has like that function. And that allows you to change the speed of the tape, but also then to pitch up and pitch down. It's wonderful. But I'm mixing my own tracks, but I'm ending the mastering to someone else. In this case, it's Nathan Moody of Obsidian Sound, because I think second ear that's worth gold. Thanks, Mike. Ah, beautiful. We're approaching the middle of almost the end of the B-side. So if you have any questions, get them out, because I won't hang out after this is done, because tomorrow, big travel day, still got a few things to pack, and yeah. Lovely being here with all of you. Tschüss. Bye, Jaspyro. Are you touring through NYC anytime soon? America's in the cards for next year. Definitely. You're welcome, Repeat Defender. Thanks, Eric. You can, of course, you can like jump into the stream in the past. That's interesting. So people can watch like at different timelines, actually. Like a multiple head, like kind of delay. Gee, I wonder how that would sound. Probably messy. But interesting. KMAC units. I haven't looked into KMAC. They look so specified that you can't get much audio out of them. I think that was my thoughts. And I know they're good for logic. That's what I've heard. There was one guy who was so advanced with Nimbin and KMAC that he could build like a Pong game out of these and stuff like that. Used them as an analog computer, basically. So I haven't looked into KMAC really, because I thought all the different standards of all the connections are different, which makes it already a mess to adapt to. But if you look into them and find something beautiful, there is probably a lot of things in there that are interesting. So, undiscovered worlds for you. I'll be coming to UK in October. It will be announced soon. So, but it just got like done 2 days ago, basically, or yesterday, basically. But I'll be coming to the UK. I can confirm it's messy. I have 2 tabs open right now. Thank you for your Of course, you can even do it like with multiple tabs. You could make a lovely streaming delay. Like, and then you could lower the sound of the streams, or like lower your internet bandwidth, have a bad internet bandwidth, and then you could stream, but then you could also receive, and then you would have like a long streaming delay. Probably sounds horrible, but interesting. Well, that idea is there for you to try. Enjoy that. Thanks, John. MF Red, I haven't. Only the other way around. Sound to... No, I haven't. I haven't actually. I haven't tried heterodyning. Heterodyning is something I still need to get into. Sam just tried it in his latest video with the feedback stuff. And yeah, he didn't like it so much, so he built his own synthesizers. Yeah. Dial-up modem sound connecting, that's a classic. That's almost like its own little synthesizer and drum machine. Oh, that track. That was run. I know how this was mixed. This is OP1 straight into a Warp vinyl pedal from Chase Bliss, which is one of my absolute favorites. I think it's the first one they made, and it still sounds gorgeous to this day. Well, that's the mix of this one. Oh, we got one more. One more. Okay. Piano, modular, and the E-Wave resonator, played live in one take. It's the least lo-fi piece of them all. Yeah, opening up the modular. Yeah, it's a gong amp. It's like a gong with an exciter stuck in a wooden box. 1930s design. Sounds so good. Mike, I see you're on it. Come on. That sounds like a thing that needs to happen. My studio is not DAW free. No, I've been started out with Cubase 3.5 back in 1998. No, I started with Cool Edit 69 back in 69. And then I went to Cubase, and then I used Nuendo for a while because that sounded better. Then Ableton came around. I loved that, but I rewired that to Nuendo because Ableton sounded bad. Then they changed the sound engine and started to sound decent enough. And now I've just been using Ableton. And DAWs are always here. I've never understood the whole like DAWless or like thing. It's just not. It's more of a meme, I think, for me. And it seems to me like I get that people need to get away from their computers for when they want to relax, but as a musician, it's not really a thing. So. Yeah, I heard very good things about Reaper, and Bitwig are lovely folk. So, very nice experience with them. But in the end, it's almost like it's hard to change DAWs. So, it's like once you use one, it's hard to change one. The biggest change I did was changing from Final Cut to DaVinci, which was a step up in many ways, but then like, I missed that again. So I'm not gonna change DAWs unless something as game-changing as Ableton comes around again. Which I don't know what it could be, but there's always technology. It keeps evolving. No, I only have the pocket piano. The pocket piano. Oh. It sounds like strings when you just shoot a little bit of noise into that gong amp. It just sounds like strings bowing. It's nice. I'm so happy how good the cassette sounds. So happy. This is stuff like if you got a substandardly produced cassette, it could sound absolutely horrible. It's very good. Very, very good. Huh. You can hear me go away from the piano. I love these things. I always leave them in. I don't know. Do you listen to those noises in between? I always try to find them. Like there are records where I can hear like a telephone going off in the distance or like something squeaky. I love those. I really love listening deeply to these little storytelling things that they left in. Okay. Well, this tape is done. And thank you all for putting this already on the top spot of Bandcamp today. And I hope it stays there for a bit. And yeah. And thanks, Boris, for, again, the beautiful tape edition and working with me on, I forgot, is it our 7th now? Is it our 7th release? And for Moser Brothers for working again with me on a soundtrack. And I urge you to go to this link here. Watch the movie. It's mesmerizing. It's beautiful. And you can hear this music that we've been listening to now in context. This has been lovely. You've all been lovely. I need to do these more often. I've never had a bad stream. Knocking on, where's wood? There's wood. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye and good night, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.